You spent 30 years ensuring the world remained exactly as it was, and in exchange, you became a woman who never existed at all. Level 1. The applicant. The fluorescent lights in the windowless hotel room in Northern Virginia do not flicker. They hum at a frequency that matches the vibration in your chest. You are 24. You have a degree in international relations and a minor in Farsi that you thought made you special. The polygrapher doesn't care about your honors thesis or your law school acceptance letter. He cares about the time you lied to your parents when you were 19. He cares about the gap in your resume from that semester in Istanbul. You realize then that the agency doesn't want your brilliance. It wants your transparency. You are offered a starting salary of $58,500. It is the last time you will ever be able to tell a bank exactly where your paycheck comes from. You sign the non-disclosure agreement. Your signature is elegant, practiced. It is the last time you'll use that name for anything that matters. Level 2. The trainee. The mud of Peary is cold, and it ruins your favorite boots, but you stop caring after the first week. You are learning the trade. You learn how to dead drop a brick in a hollowed-out stone while looking like a jogger who just stopped to tie her shoe. You learn how to detect a surveillance bubble in a crowded mall by watching reflections in shop windows. You learn that your primary is no longer your sister back home, but your instructor, a woman who hasn't smiled since 1998. Your identity is stripped. You are given a work name. For the next 2 terms, you are Sarah. You practice brush passes until your hands stop shaking. You realize that a $62,000 GS9 salary is a small price for the thrill of being the most dangerous woman in the room. You learn to love the mask. Level 3. The operations officer. Your first PCS is a Tier 2 station in North Africa. The heat is a physical weight that clings to your silk scarves. Your cover is consular officer. You spend 14 hours a day processing visas and reading cables in a basement. You're looking for the gap, the person with a grievance and access. You find a frustrated female scientist at a state lab who is tired of being overlooked by her male superiors. You meet her in a market that smells of saffron and scorched earth. You don't offer her money first, you offer her validation. It is the most sincere lie you've ever told. You are making $74,000 now. You buy a local gold bracelet. You never wear it back in Virginia. Level 4. The case officer. You are promoted to GS12. $86,000. You are moved to a hard target city in Central Europe. The air tastes of wet pavement and old stone. You have 4 assets under your belt. One of them is a high-ranking official in the Ministry of Defense who likes expensive whiskey and the company of women who listen well. You are an expert at listening. Every time you meet him in a safe house, you risk a decade in a foreign prison. You learn the SDR, the surveillance detection route. 4 hours of window shopping, changing clothes in a public restroom, watching the glass in the rearview mirror. You learn to spot the tail by the way they look through you, not at you. You carry a failsafe you hope you'll never use. You tell yourself it's just a precaution. Your mother asks why you're still single. You tell her you haven't met the right one. You're actually thinking about the signal site you marked with a piece of chalk on a bridge an hour ago. Level 5. The senior case officer. You are GS14. $122,000. You are no longer just running assets. You are managing a base in a conflict zone. The war on terror has shifted the paradigm. You aren't just stealing secrets. You are fixing problems. You authorize a kinetic operation based on signals intelligence that suggests a high-value target is on the move. The strike happens at 3 o'clock. You watch the infrared feed on a monitor. There is no sound, just a bloom of white heat, and then the silence of the dust settling. You go back to your bunk and apply moisturizer to your hands. They are steady. You realize that your signature on a digital cable has the power to erase lives, but your paycheck still says civil servant. Level 6. The Deputy Chief of Station. The office is larger, but the windows are reinforced with lead glass and heavy curtains. You are responsible for the morale of 20 officers, half of whom resent taking orders from a woman who looks 10 years younger than her file suggests. You handle the flaps, the diplomatic incidents, the blown covers, the assets who get compromised. You spend your weekends at the ambassador's residence, playing the part of the charming attaché. You watch the ambassador's wife talk about her garden, and you realize you haven't watered a plant in 3 years. Your salary is $145,000. You spend most of it on high-end luggage and a therapist you lie to. The field ghost has begun to hollow you out. Level 7. The Chief of Station. You are the queen of your station. You are the direct representative of the director in a major European capital. You have a secure phone that rings at 4 a.m. with the president's daily briefers. You sit across from the heads of foreign intelligence services, men who would have had you arrested 20 years ago, and you drink their tea while negotiating their cooperation. You trade human lives like a currency. You authorize a denied area operation that results in a diplomatic nightmare. You spend 72 hours in the same suit, maneuvering through back channels to get your team across the border. You realize that truth is merely a narrative you control. You are GS15, Step 10, $172,000. You look in the mirror and don't recognize the tired woman looking back. Level 8. The Desk Chief, Langley. You are back at headquarters. The 7th floor is a heartbeat away. You are the chief of the Eurasia Division. You oversee hundreds of operations across 24 countries. You are no longer a ghost. You are the architect of the shadows. You spend your days in the tank, briefing congressional oversight committees who want to know why your budget is over-indexed. You answer them with cold precision, using data points to mask the blood. You know things they will never understand. You know that their comfortable lives are built on the foundations of the secrets you keep buried. Your salary enters the Senior Executive Service, SES, range, $183,000. You buy a quiet condo in Arlington. You eat dinner alone in the dark. Level 9, the Associate Deputy Director of Operations. You are the number 2 for the entire Directorate of Operations. You are the final filter. Nothing reaches the director that hasn't been vetted by your cold, calculating eye. You manage the black budget, billions of dollars that are laundered through front companies selling medical supplies and private security. You oversee the creation of a 10-year plan to collapse a hostile economy from the inside. You see the world as a complex web of vulnerabilities. You start to see that even the good guys are just actors in a play you wrote. Your salary is capped, but you have a detail of 4 security officers who would die for you. They are the only people who know your real name anymore. Level 10, the Deputy Director of Operations. You are the head of the house. You lead the Directorate of Operations. You are the most powerful woman in the world that the public will never know. When the president needs a problem solved without a footprint, he calls the director, and the director looks at you. You sit in the Situation Room and explain the cost-benefit analysis of a coup in the Global South. You carry the stars. Every time an officer falls, a star is carved into the marble wall. You are the one who decides which of those stars will remain anonymous in the Book of Honor. You are making $190,000. You realize the irony. You can move armies with a nod, but you still have to wait in line for coffee at the cafeteria like everyone else. Level 11, the Associate Director for Military Affairs. You are the bridge between the CIA and the Joint Staff. You integrate special activities, with special operations. You are the one coordinating the drone fleets and the paramilitary teams in gray zone warfare. You spend your days at the point of the spear, but you are the hand that holds it. You see the blurred line between intelligence and war, and you realize the line was always an illusion. You are a permanent fixture of the National Security Council. Your face is a state secret. Your history is a series of redacted black bars. Level 12, the director. The top of the pyramid. You are the face of the invisible empire. You are the first woman to hold the chair from the DO side. You testify before the world, wearing a string of pearls and a smile that doesn't reach your eyes. You carry the weight of every secret since the agency's inception. You walk through the lobby and look at the stars on the wall. You remember the mud at the farm. You remember the gold bracelet in North Africa. You remember the woman you were before you became a ghost. You realize that the director's burden isn't the power. It's the absolute crushing solitude of knowing exactly how the world works. The reckoning. You retire with a pension and a medal that sits in a locked safe in your basement. You take a lucrative board seat at a defense contractor. You make more money in a quarter than you made in your first decade, but you still catch yourself checking the dead spaces in parking garages. You see a young woman in an airport looking nervous, and you want to tell her to run, to keep her name, to keep her life, but you don't. You just adjust your sunglasses, step into your car, and drive away into the silence you spent 30 years building.